It's about time we had a conversation about our friend Jamahal Hill. Now, I say friend because this is a man who, regardless of how much he is coping about his loss to Alex Pereira at UFC 300, this is a man who is a general on the front line of our forces against the great worm of the MMA community, Ariel Helwani. So for that, he can be excused. However, I was going to let this video slide, okay? I really was. I weren't going to go after him because I saw the cope after the loss to Alex Pereira, and I thought, you know what? We'll let it slide. He's with us against Ariel. I don't want to lose a key member of my military here against Ariel Helwani. We need him on our team. But Jamahal Hill since has started yapping again. So I thought I'd go through some of this and we talk about some of this. Now, very important to say is, before I show you all of these moments and all of these responses, Alex Pereira's going back at him as well, is Jamahal Hill delusional and coping? Yes. Yes, he is. However, is being delusional and coping about a loss the best base for MMA? Because these videos are wrong. The one at the top especially is very wrong. He made so many excuses. He coped so hard about his loss to Alex Pereira that he came back to win by KO in the rematch. So is Jamahal Hill delusional? Yes. Is he dumb? No, because he's following by example here. This is how you win a rematch against Alex Pereira. Delusion, denial. That's how you got to get it done. We're going to move straight into this though. So Jamahal Hill comes out with this tweet. And it should be mentioned here, before this tweet, or before this Instagram post that I'm about to read you, every comment of everything he was posting was literally just Pereira doing that with his hands. Over and over again. So, people have been going after Hill for the loss. Okay, it's not like everyone was praising him, like, well done, you put it all on the line, and then Hill was still coming out against a fan base. Now, I'm going to read what he said in the top here, and you can see Alex Pereira's response as well. It says, "You reap what you sow, sham," which is a crazy translation to pull off for a non-English speaker. Either way, we're going to read what Jamahal Hill has to say here. Now, I haven't really spoke on this, but I went to Brazil and dog walked your guy. Emphasis on the dog walk. He did beat the hell out of Glover for 5 straight rounds. One of the most impressive performances that wasn't expected in recent UFC history. A lot of people thought he was going to lose to Glover, and he went out there and dominated him for 5 straight rounds. Dog walked your guy in one of the most one-sided ass whoopings in championship history, and after showed nothing but respect and paid homage. I've never celebrated over an opponent I beat, and even called out my fans for disrespecting Johnny Walker after I slept him. But because I showed competitive fire, and I was excited to be back after an injury that could have ended my career, you think this was funny or cool. Alex Pereira, you really set up a punch you couldn't get to without a weird or confusing moment, and did some weak shit. But it's okay because you'll fight me again, and my eyes won't leave you until your ass is stiff as Izzy left you in Miami. There's a lot of cope and delusion in there, but I'm telling you guys, this might be the best base for MMA. What do you want Hill to do? Like, I'm going to read through it and I'm going to disprove a lot of what he's saying because it is delusional. But the alternative is better man won on the night and then no one gives a fuck. You know what I mean? Or, oh, I'll never beat him. He's so much better than me, guys. I'll never win the rematch. I'm so much worse. He's never going to fucking have a chance with that mindset. You have to be delusional. However, there's a lot of coping going on in this message. Now, he said, after he won one of the most one-sided ass whoopings in championship history and showed nothing but respect and paid homage, he never celebrated over Glover Teixeira, is what he's saying. Now, he didn't knock out Glover Teixeira in the first round. Just saying. I just said there weren't much of a window to celebrate until the bell sounded at the end of the 5th. Okay? That's what I'm going to say. Now, if you had have knocked Glover out, you could use the example of, look what I did to Glover and I didn't celebrate. You didn't have the chance. So that's what a lot of people are going to go after him for here. Also, something that I wanted to mention. Glover Teixeira didn't have your head on a chain with like marks all over it and wasn't holding it above his head at the weigh-ins. Glover didn't talk no shit, dude. Now, maybe Glover said, hey, you know, he doesn't know, this whippersnapper, you know. I don't know what Glover could have said, but maybe he said some shit in his old language. You know what I mean? Of hieroglyphs, the old man. Either way, it's cope, dude. Glover weren't yapping the whole build-up, you know? He wasn't. Glover weren't holding up things at the weigh-ins. Like, for Pereira, Jamahal, if he was English speaking, you've got to understand, when you're an English speaker and you see someone also talking a bit of shit, having angry energy towards you, you can play off of it. And maybe if Alex Pereira was a native English speaker, he would have joked along and he would have laughed with Jamahal about the whole totem that he was holding up at the weigh-ins and stuff like that. But when you're not a native English speaker and you're sensing aggressive energy from someone, you have to match it with aggressiveness back, because he don't know the intricacies of, he's just building the fight. Like, no, this is war to him. You're holding up something with his head. Oh, that means this. And now it's war. Pereira finishes him, does the celebration. And then there's this. You really set up a punch you couldn't get to without a weird, confusing moment and did some weak shit. Now, this is what annoys me about Pereira, about Hill's analysis. Now, I messaged Jamahal Hill saying, looks like you lost focus for a second after they split the fight up. All good. You know what I mean? I did message him that. I said it. I said to him, looks like you lost focus for a second when they did the split for the break. And you got caught. It is what it is. You'll be back. And I do believe that. However, that's nobody's fault. That's not Herb Dean's fault. He did his job and then was seen, oh, okay, no, you're not looking to separate. And then he backed off. And then Pereira, he's also just been hit to the groin, arguably, but said, no, I'm fine. I'll fight on. The only problem with this is Jamahal Hill threw the first punch. That is the main problem with this, that no one's going to buy. Because at first I thought, damn, he kind of looked like he lost a bit of focus after they stepped in for the groin shot. But then a lot of people went after me, actually, for saying that shit and said, dude, Hill threw the first punch when they snapped back into action. Did he forget about the whole footwork drill? Because, listen, Hill was veering left when they resumed action, Hill was veering left. He's supposed to be going to his right, fighting for outside foot position. Like, he clearly started doing something a lot worse for him immediately after Herb Dean stepped in a little bit. However, that's nobody's fault but his. You know what I'm saying? That could have been, you know, I feel like I lost focus when they stepped in for the groin shot. Won't happen again. Better man won on the night. We move on. Not when you now say all this other shit now about the loss. You know what I mean? But there's more to it. You know, Alex Pereira responded and said, you reap what you sow, Sharma. And then, you know, Hill's been saying more stuff about it. And Pereira came out and said this. To be honest, I kind of don't get why he's doing this so late. It's been almost 2 months. People usually do that right away, but maybe he just woke up from the knockout. Some cold bars from Jamahal Hill. Now, from Alex Pereira here. Now, to be honest, I don't get why he's doing this late. It's been almost 2 months. People usually do that right away, but maybe he just woke up from knockout. He is awake in this very same picture of you doing the celebration. So it doesn't have the same sting that maybe it should. However, it was cold. It was a cold bar from Alex Pereira, that's for sure. So great job, Alex Pereira. And then Hill comes back again. Jamahal Hill responds to Alex Pereira saying maybe he just woke up from a knockout. And again, as you can see on screen, this is Alex Pereira dead on the screen, on the canvas, out cold. So that's interesting. And he said, funny, only one of us had been knocked unconscious, needing oxygen and multiple people's help to wake with your toes curled. No, I'm nitpicking now. Don't worry, I'll remind you of that feeling again real soon. So Hill is channeling this salt, cope, and delusion into a rematch with Pereira someday. You have to understand that, guys. I say let him. That's my take on this. It is delusional. It is coping. It is salty. That's every MMA fighter when they fucking lose. Volk's been making excuses. Volk takes a fight knowing the excuses he has built in and then comes out, dishes them all out. I was on the fucking couch, you know. I was just there on my couch drinking beer. I took the fight and it is what it is, you know. Like, you know, at the end of the day, it was his night. You know, the shot landed. I zigged when I should have zagged. These are all methods of excuses. Just Hill's coming at it with that energy. You know what I'm saying? He's got energy for Pereira here. And then this is the problem that I have with it. Because now people are posting this type of shit. And this is going to make Jamahal Hill look really bad. This clip is going around from the behind-the-scenes documentary that the UFC did of Alex Pereira dealing with his loss to Israel Adesanya. And I could play the whole bit of footage here. But I might as well read it for you guys because you're not going to know whereabouts it is in the text anyway. So he said, this is after he just got slept by Israel Adesanya. He said, but bro, for real, I'm okay with it. Everything is okay, thanks to God. In the past, I was worried. Like, holy fuck, I'm fucked. I got to pay some bills and other stuff. But nowadays, thanks to God and my managers, I'm financially well. So it was one more fight to him. Okay? And he then went on to say some other stuff. I already left other teams and families sad like my sons are right now. And his sons are right there next to him. My sister, all of the team. But that's it. It was like one day I said to my father when I lost in 2012, my first loss as a professional, my father got sick. So I said to him, Father, how many times I left other families and teams sad and we were laughing. Now it's our time to rethink. So dude, I'm okay with it right now. And this is Pereira just saying all of this after his loss to Israel Adesanya. You know what I mean? And that's like the final statement that he kind of makes. How many times have we left other families feeling like this? I'm okay with this loss right now. Let's deal with it. Now, that's the problem because now this is like a direct, absolute comparison of what Jamahal Hill's been doing over the past few weeks. And then this clip comes out of Pereira handling a loss really, really well. And all of a sudden, it's now like, look at the difference between them. And that's not a good look for Jamahal Hill. But you know what? I've got some advice for Jamahal Hill. Fuck him, dude. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, dude. Fuck the fans. I'm going to say this right now. Fuck the whole fan base. Full heel turn, Jamahal Hill. They don't give a fuck about you. Nobody does. They only care if you win or lose. That's a fact about the fan base of MMA. And it's something that all MMA fighters need to learn real quick. They don't give a fuck about you. If you lose your next fight, they will act like you didn't even fucking exist. Okay? If you win your next fight, all of us... Like, let's say you sleep Allberg by KO. People are going to start saying, I don't know, man. Hill looked sharp. Now he's back with momentum. Who knows how it could go? That's exactly what people are going to start saying. So if I'm Jamahal Hill, I'm doubling down on this delusion. I'm saying all sorts. Make up another excuse. Do that. Come up with another excuse. Say fuck the whole fucking fan base. Be more delusional. Cope more. And you'll win your belt back like Israel Adesanya did. Because I watched Israel Adesanya's interviews after his loss to Alex Pereira. And there was people saying stuff like, oh, you handled it so well, even though you didn't at all. So I was pointing it out. I was saying this dude's being delusional. He's saying it was all from one nerve kick in round one that it happened and he said he wasn't even rocked and that he slipped over. Remember how Adesanya was being so fucking delusional about the Alex Pereira loss? So delusional about it. In the build-up, he was just straight up lying in the build-up. I did a whole video about that as well, where he started quoting Eminem 8 Mile, Lose Yourself, in the middle of one of the interviews. So if my advice to Jamahal Hill was anything, fuck these guys, dude. Be saltier, cope harder, be more delusional, and power it into another title run. That's the only option. Because guess what, dude? Win or lose, that's all they care about. Win or lose. Beats Allberg, all of a sudden, damn, I don't know, dude. He'll look good out there, man. Can't wait to see him get another win. Then maybe we can talk about that Pereira rematch. All of a sudden, the whole narrative changes. So if I'm Jamahal Hill, I'm keeping this shit up. Because I never seen Jamahal Hill make headlines like this, guys. Okay? People love to hate things. My channel was born on that method. Be more delusional. Cope more. More salt. I need you to, lie. Accuse Alex Pereira of lacing his gloves. Do like, something else. You know what I mean? We need another excuse because we need it ripe in the build-up of UFC 303 as well. Because McGregor's comeback, dude, Jamahal Hill's in the co-main event. People forgetting about that. That's a big spot, and he's making some headlines. We need more. And if this is the way to do it, this is the way we do it, dude. More delusion, dude. Say you didn't get a good night's sleep before. And then the people online, oh my God, Jamahal Hill do that. You get so many interactions. Tweet out saying, oh, you know, you guys are so quick to judge, but I honestly couldn't sleep for a second before that fight. Something was wrong with me after the weight cut. Come out with some kind of excuse to where you couldn't sleep. The internet will get it millions of views because they won't be able to resist saying, looks like Pereira helped with that then, and with a picture of you out cold on the canvas sleeping. So, that's the way to go about it. Give the people the layups. Give the audience the layups. Complain about your sleep before the fight. Say you couldn't get a wink of sleep before the fight. Just don't know what it was. Just couldn't sleep for some bizarre reason. They're going to ratio you back, and it's going to get millions of views. So we'll see. Do I think he's being absolutely delusional? Yes. Do I think he needs to be right now, 2 months after being KO'd by Pereira, now fighting Carlos Ulberg? Yes, I fucking do think this guy needs to be delusional. And if anything, it just made me more confident in him against Carlos Ulberg, which is a very difficult matchup that he might lose. Imagine if Jamahal Hill was going through an ego death right now. Worst possible thing. Look what happened to Wilder. You need your ego. And if he's going to be like, maybe I'm just not the best in the world. A few weeks out from fighting Ulberg, he's going to get slept. So, I don't know. Like and subscribe. See you later. Goodbye. Is he being delusional? Yes. But is being delusional the best base in MMA history? Also, yes. Goodbye.